The winter sun over Richmond, Virginia glared off the marble steps of the Holy Trinity Church like judgment itself. Inside, guests whispered behind manicured hands, silk dresses sweeping across pews, the smell of white roses masking a tension so sharp it felt like broken glass in the air. At the church doors, a man in a designer suit, Sebastian Ward, smirked as he checked his watch. He had sent that invitation months ago, a final victory lap, a cruel punctuation on the life he believed he had escaped. Come to my wedding, he had written to his ex-wife. See what success looks like. He imagined her arriving alone, still wearing thrift store clothes, trying to hide the exhaustion etched into her face. He wanted to watch her shrink. He wanted people to know he had won, but he had no idea what fate had in store. Before we go further, if you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the possibility of life flipping in the most unexpected ways, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. It helps stories like this reach more hearts. A mile away, in a quiet neighborhood where houses still had chipped paint and uneven fences, Nora Prescott zipped up her shimmering navy gown, smoothing the fabric with trembling hands. The dress felt like a dream, elegant but strong, like steel disguised as silk. She glanced in the mirror, barely recognizing the woman staring back. Gone were the hollow cheeks and weary eyes from the days she spent begging landlords for extensions and praying her electricity wouldn't be shut off. Now she carried herself with quiet confidence, her posture shaped by hardship and hope. 3 small voices were singing in the hallway. Her triplets, Ethan, Milo, and Rose, all 5 years old, born after Sebastian walked out, unaware they even existed. Norah had found out she was pregnant the day he left. He had said she was dead weight, someone who would drag him down, someone who didn't understand ambition. He claimed she had no value, and that he was tired of waiting for her to catch up. He left with barely a glance, chasing wealth like a man chasing a shadow. Norah had watched him slam the door and felt her world collapse like a building with no foundation. For months she cried. For months she feared the future. For months she wondered what she had done wrong. But the day she heard 3 heartbeats thundering in her belly, everything changed. She promised herself she would be enough for them. She worked 3 jobs, a cleaning service, a night shift at a diner, and sewing custom dresses at home. The skill she had given up dreams of pursuing when Sebastian demanded she focus on supporting his ambitions. It was while sewing that everything began to shift. One night, she made a dress for a wealthy customer who ended up attending a gala in Washington, D.C. Photos of the dress ended up on social media, where a well-known fashion blogger praised its craftsmanship. Commissions flooded in. Investors reached out. That single moment cracked open fate's door, and Norah walked through. Now she owned a small but rapidly growing clothing line, featured in online magazines and quietly climbing the ladder of success. She wasn't rich. Not yet. But she had stability, dignity, and the love of 3 children who believed she was a superhero. As she prepared, a black limo purred to a stop outside her home. It wasn't rented, it was offered, by a client who believed in her design so much he had insisted she travel in comfort. When she stepped outside, neighbors peeked through curtains. Norah helped the kids in, their tiny suits and dress making them look like royalty. As the limo rolled away, she didn't feel like she was going to watch someone else's happiness. She felt like she was stepping into her own healing. At the church, Sebastian checked the doors again, irritation spreading across his face like oil. The ceremony was minutes away, and his fiancée, Chloe Hart, draped in diamonds, noticed his distraction. She asked if he was nervous. He lied and said no. He wasn't nervous. He was impatient. For validation, for applause, for revenge. Guests whispered. Some knew he had invited his ex-wife. The thought made them uncomfortable, but wealth can blur morality in social circles like these. Then the limo pulled up. Conversation died. The doors opened, and Norah stepped out like a storm wrapped in sunlight. Her dress caught the winter air, moving like ocean waves. Her hair curled over her shoulders, framing her face like a portrait. People stared. Not with mockery, but with awe. She held two small hands and guided another child beside her. The triplets walked with perfect innocence, their eyes wide with curiosity. They looked like him. Sebastian, especially Ethan. The resemblance was undeniable. Inside the church, Sebastian froze. His pupils shrank, his breath caught. There were no words. Chloe followed his gaze and felt his grip loosen. Guests gasped. Some covered their mouths. The triplets stared at the groom with shy interest, unaware of the storm building inside him. Nora didn't speak. She simply inclined her head in polite acknowledgement and took a seat near the back. She wasn't there for drama. She wasn't there for attention. She was there because she had been invited, and she came with dignity. Throughout the ceremony, Sebastian's voice cracked. His vows stumbled. Chloe's eyes narrowed, suspicion blooming like poison. When the pastor asked if anyone objected, silence followed, but the weight in the room felt like thunder. When the ceremony ended, whispers swirled. Chloe confronted him quietly, shaking. He stammered through excuses, claiming Nora brought kids to manipulate him. But the truth was visible to everyone. He had left a family behind. Nora didn't rise to defend herself. Instead, she gathered the children and rose to leave. It was Chloe who approached her first. Her voice trembled, not with anger, but with concern. She asked if the children were safe, if they needed anything. Chloe was not cruel, just blind. Nora explained gently with humility that they were fine. She explained nothing more. No accusations, no speeches, just facts. Chloe's face turned pale. The marriage unraveled before the reception even began. Chloe walked away from Sebastian, tears streaking her makeup. She said she wouldn't build a future on lies. Sebastian reached for her, but she stepped back. The guests watched in stunned silence as the world he crafted for himself cracked open like a shell too small to hold the truth. Nora stepped outside with her children, snowflakes drifting around them. She held them close, the limo driver opening the door. She didn't look back, not because she was running, but because she was finally free. If this story has touched your heart, please like the video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who might need hope today, and subscribe. Your support helps these stories find the people who need them most. Before we end, I want to ask you something special. What moment in this story moved you the most? Comment below. I'd love to read your thoughts. As the limo pulled away, Nora watched her children point at the falling snow with wonder. She realized she didn't need revenge. She didn't need validation. She didn't need Sebastian to acknowledge his mistakes. She already had everything she ever prayed for: strength, purpose, and the unbreakable love of her children. Some victories don't need applause. They just need peace. And in that moment, driving toward a future she carved with her own hands, Nora finally felt it. Peace, like sunshine breaking through a decade of clouds.